Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band? I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by my co-host, Sean Morton. Hello, Sean.
Hi, Jeffrey. I'd like to say thank you for offering me a gig, which I had to politely decline because of my wrestling addiction.
Right, because you're a 6-year-old.
Well, listen, I'm a simple man, Jeffrey, and there's certain things that I like,
Right,
and there's certain days of the year that I block out, and because I have taken gigs on big wrestling weekends, and they never turned out right. But yeah, I had to turn down a gig because it was WrestleMania weekend, and I've taken a lot of shit for it.
Yeah, I got this great room, which we sold out again on Valentine's Day. Me and Chrissy Miller.
Oh, the room that you asked me to do like 7 months ago, but you forgot to give me a date.
Right. Well, This was the date.
Okay.
And trying to find like the right show. I figured you, Richie Byrne, that's going to be a great show. And no, I can't make it because I got to watch wrestling that night.
Yeah, well, listen, I got priorities. I have a life outside of comedy, you know. Adam was mentioning about the wrestling convention that we just had this weekend, and like I can't bring myself to go to a lot of these because it just makes me physically depressed, like legit physically depressed. When you go see these people, I knew you probably can understand this too. Like if you went to like a baseball convention and you're seeing these people that you grew up, these Mets that you grew up watching, and like they got fucking colostomy bags and walkers and shit like that. And it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, seeing your heroes get old is depressing. Seeing a wrestler get old is a little bit more depressing. So, really, just as I was starting comedy, a little bit before, I was producing fundraisers. I was doing wrestling shows. I had you on one of those once.
Oh my God, dude!
But
never in my life was I more terrified than I was that night. And this is 18 years in comedy and entertainment, and I still to this day say that was the hardest thing I ever did.
It's not easy. So we did a couple before, and probably the saddest one. Now, we did it in a high school gym, and we got a good turnout. We had over 500 people show out. But the headliner was Jimmy Superfly Snuka. At that point, he's in his 70s, and he gets to the venue. Now, the show doesn't start until 8. He gets there about 5, and just sitting in his car, sleeping. Comes into the venue, when the janitor and everybody comes, he can't get on the top rope. This guy was massive. Do you remember what he looked like in his heyday?
Fuck yeah, dude. He was amazing.
Amazing. Tits sagging, worse than mine. Just really, really terrible. And it was just so sad. Like this guy headlined in the 80s at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And now here it is 20 years later. And he's in Staten Island in a gym doing a wrestling show. Brutal.
You know, so you remember the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase?
Of course I do.
Okay,
and Virgil.
So you know Virgil, right? So
do you know how many times Virgil has hit me up for shit? Well, when he was alive.
All right. So I don't know if you know what Virgil would do. What he would do is he would have a banner that would say the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Virgil. And he would sell pictures, like, autographed pictures. And he'd be like, okay, so here's the deal. It's $20 for me, and I'll sign it now. When Ted gets here, then you just pay him his fee, and then you'll get a picture with both, an autographed picture with both of us. And people will be like, oh, this is fantastic. Fully knowing Ted's not on this convention.
Yeah, he would, hey, you want to take a picture? You're like, okay. And then like $10.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't tell me I got to pay for it.
There was a whole Sam Roberts, who I think you know him definitely, right? He started this thing. Yeah, he started this thing called Lonely Virgil. I think it was on Twitter years ago, where he would take pictures at conventions of Virgil's table that is loaded with 8x10s and nobody around him.
Because he was Virgil.
Well, it wasn't even that. He just flooded the market. Like, you can only do so many of these before everybody has their picture with you already.
Exactly. But it's like you're not even the guy. You're like the sidekick to the guy.
Yeah.
Like was there another sidekick type of person? Was it Luna? Was Luna a sidekick?
Who was a pretty big sidekick, but he was still very good as well, was Cowboy Bob Orton, Randy Orton's father.
Yeah.
He was like Piper's kind of sidekick for a good
and he had a
period.
little bit of run on his own.
Oh, yeah, but he was successful. But like, a lot of these like hanger-ons, it's so hard to see. It's just so hard. There it is. Only Virgil.
And so he would write. He would put that up.
See,
there was no way he was Ted DiBiase was coming.
Right, and then there were times where Ted was there, and he caught on to it, and he would blast him for it. Absolutely blast him for using his name, and shit like that. But yeah, he was known for just popping up at like not even wrestling stuff at a football card show. He would pop up and just, I thought I had my money in for the table. Well, how about I just get you after I make some cash? And people would just let him go because they felt bad for him. But it was so sad to see.
That's pretty bad. I wonder where he lived.
Pittsburgh.
Did he have like a house?
I don't know, Jeff. I wasn't fucking close friends with Virgil. I have no idea.
He would come down to Staten Island or New Jersey card show.
Mm-hmm.
Where would he stay?
Well, they put them up in hotels and shit like that. But
Virgil. Virgil wasn't attractive. I
mean, they're all independent, so they don't know what they work out. But like, I've seen people have these amazing riders for these kind of conventions where, like, they need, first class flights and shit. Like, you have higher end ones, like bigger, higher up ones. They can make really, really good money from it.
But it's Virgil. Would you have put Virgil up and he'd say, "Look, I don't have a place to stay. Can I crash at your place?" Would you have put him up?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. Like, I heard a story about Flair. I think it was Tony Hinchcliffe talking about Ric Flair, and Flair was doing his Hinchcliffe's, Kill Tony, and he said to him, "Listen, whatever you do, don't let me lose this duffel bag. Don't let me lose this duffel bag." And he's going, "Why? What's the matter?" He goes, "There's $200,000 in this duffel bag from this convention." Like, he made that much money signing pictures and taking pictures and autographs and shit like that. Like, there is money out there to be doing it.
You wouldn't hire somebody to just like even just babysit you to watch the bag?
I would. Absolutely. I'd hire you.
Yeah. I'll do it for $1,000.
See, that's the thing. I do it for free, but you're a piece of shit, so you'd ask for money.
You made $250,000. You couldn't float me $1,000.
I'd float you more than that, but like if you demand,
I wouldn't ask for more. But I'm saying, I say for $1,000, I think, no, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll travel around with you and just hold the bag.
Yeah, but you see, I would do that.
I wouldn't let you do it for free.
But I wouldn't expect payment from you. You know what I mean?
Depends.
First of all, let me just explain something. If anybody's going around signing autographs and taking pictures out of this fucking relationship, it's definitely me. No one's paying for you.
Completely off. No way.
No one. Oh yeah. Oh God, it's the dad joke guy. Let me fucking spend $20 to get a picture. No,
I'll do it for $5.
You're charging $450 more than you should.
I still do. I even do it for $50.
I'll do it for $5 to $50. What kind of math is this?
Yes. Listen, let's just get to today's topic. I've had enough of your shenanigans.
Yes, this is actually this was a little harder than I thought. Not gonna lie.
It is.
Tell us the topic.
So the topic is, we're going to have a really good guest next week, and we have some guests coming up, but we're kind of like in a holding pattern here. So I didn't want to book anybody, and we were like, we're not going to skip an episode. So let's come up with a topic. And after 6 years, what haven't we done?
Yeah, it's true.
And one topic that we didn't do was follow-ups, bad follow-ups to successful albums. So the premise is the album prior was a masterpiece, great album. The follow-up, for one reason or another, simply did not work and tanked. Like, I'll give you an example that I'm not going to use. You had Fleetwood Mac Rumors, which was a monster album, followed up by Tusk, which was considered a disappointment, even though I didn't think Tusk was that bad, but a lot of people would have. So you kind of get the idea. So, Sean, what did you come up with? I think I know one that you would have done.
There was two that really jumped at me that I knew right off the top. The first one was Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, Rear Cracked.
Crack Review, my stance on Guns N' Roses, being the greatest debut album of all time. But look, you can't put Hootie and not put them in the top 5 of best debut albums. As far as radio play, as far as popularity.
I think at one point it was the highest selling debut album of all time.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a banger. I think it had like 5 or 6 top 10 hits or top 5 hits.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And then the second album comes out and it was just
Fairweather Johnson.
Fairweather Johnson. It wasn't a bad record. But
it wasn't a good record.
But it wasn't a good one. They had one really good song. That song, Sad Caper, was phenomenal. It became one of their bigger hits. But dude, coming off that banger first record to that was a huge drop off. And I think that kind of led to them kind of disbanding for a while, and until Darius became a really big successful country star. And then the nostalgia boom kind of came back into play, and then Hootie became relevant again. But that was one that I definitely that was the first one that jumped out at me.
That's a pretty obvious one. Yeah, that's a pretty stark one. For me, I loved Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Okay.
Loved CCR. And in 1985, John Fogerty came out with the album Center Field.
Great record.
Right. The song Center Field, big hit. Every opening baseball game, every All-Star game, you always hear Center Field. It's a classic. Another great song off of it, what sounded like a CCR song, was Old Man Down the Road. I love that song.
Yeah.
I love the guitar in it, okay? Then he follows it up.
Rock and Roll Girls is on that record too.
Rock and Roll Girls, right. Great. I mean, it had that real CCR sound.
Yeah.
Then he follows it up with more of like a synthesizer type album a year later called Eye of the Zombie. Now, Sean is like, well, I'd never heard of that. Yeah, nobody did. Supposedly the big single off it was Soda Pop. Now, this was around the time that I owned a record store, just about closing up. Yeah, Soda Pop did nothing. It was all shitty songs. It was such a disappointment after how great a record Center Field was. And coming off the legacy of CCR and then to follow Eye of the Zombie. I know, listen, artists take chances, but this was just to use a baseball metaphor, it was a big swing and a miss.
Oof. Yeah. Much like that fucking comeback. Yeah. So I know I'm not making it all about
Creature.
What's that?
Underneath that sweatshirt, is that a Creature?
Shinedown.
Okay. I thought it said Creed.
No. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd wear a Creed shirt, but I wouldn't. I would probably put the zipper over it so you wouldn't see it to make fun of me. I didn't do all debut records too, because I think that's kind of easy. I think everybody could put out a real banger first record. I wanted to go a little deeper. I went also with Smashing Pumpkins with Adore from 1998. They went to this like rock opera kind of vibe, and I think Adore was like the only hit off of that record, but
I wouldn't even categorize as a hit. If that followed up my favorite album, Melancholy, is great. Tonight is probably my favorite song by Smashing Pumpkins. That is such a phenomenal record. Bullet with Butterfly Wings was another. Zero. I mean, just everything was great off of that. And
that record was so popular because like it had, and Adam might remember this. I don't think Jeff will, but they actually put out a box set after Melancholy and Infinite Sadness came out, and it was like 7 singles, but there was like 5 or 6 unreleased songs with each CD single, and it came in like an old. Do you remember back in the day with like the 45s, we'd have like the carrying case?
I remember it.
Like that.
Yeah.
So they had the CDs in that kind of carrying case. So like here you have Melancholy, which is like 35 songs long, and then you have another box set which has another 35 songs on it. And some of those songs on those box sets are better than songs that are on Melancholy. They just didn't fit, but to come back, so figure out you're putting out 2 records that have a combined 70 songs, and out of them 40 are fantastic. And then you put out a shit record 2 years later, I don't know where the hell they went in this direction with this, but I think a big part of it was Jimmy Chamberlain.
Yeah, there we go.
Have that? Yeah, it's still sitting upstairs.
I used to have a record holder like that. It didn't say Smashing Pumpkins, but it had that design. Holy smoke!
A lot of them did. Yeah, it was probably like a cream and burgundy color, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
It was that. It was black and white like that.
It was the same? Because the one I had was like a cream and burgundy color. That was the only one that I had ever seen before.
But that was the design, and you put all your 45s in that. I would have so many 45s. I was like smashing them in there.
Right, yeah, and they were all scratched up because you have like 7 too many in there.
But right, and then like I started like because I would go with my mom shopping or something. And there was a record store, and so she would put me in the record store, and I would, she would let me buy a single, and so I would spend the whole time. It was like a little kid looking at the cereal aisle. Remember, like you could spend up and down, looking what kind of prizes there, what kind of cereal you wanted. That was a big decision.
Oh my God!
Instead of going to the cereal aisle, it was for me picking out a record.
Dude, same exact thing with my grandmother. My grandmother would go food shopping, and next door was a record store, and she'd hand me $2 because singles were only $1.99 at that point. And I would sit there for fucking an hour trying to figure out what was the 45 that I wanted that week.
You walk up and down, try and figure it out. Let me see the chart. Remember they had the chart. It would be like on the display, the ledge, whatever it was. You would take it out. You start looking at all these songs. Oh yeah, and then you had to make a decision because soon your mom was coming to get you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I remember the one time I grabbed The Warrior by Scandal. Like that was like because I was obsessed with that song in a video. The video was great. But that was the one I vividly remember. I think it was Jump by Van Halen or The Warrior by Scandal, and I picked The Warrior.
And the funny thing is, she could have been the singer in Van Halen.
Right. Remember that? Yeah, she was fantastic. She had a great career though, Patti Smith.
And who was she married? Is she married to John McEnroe? I think she's married to John McEnroe.
No, I don't think so.
Sean, Adam, look that up. I'm telling you, as usual, I'm probably going to be right about this. I think she's with John McEnroe, and Paul Simon's with Edie Brickell. Two like 80s singer chicks.
No, she was married to Fred Smith from the MC5.
You're looking at the wrong Patti Smith.
No, I'm not.
Patti Smythe from Scandal was not married.
Oh, Patti Smythe. I'm sorry.
So stupid.
Yeah, she's married to McEnroe.
I told you it was a long day.
I love the confidence too. He's like,
no. I'm tired. You're lucky I'm even on this fucking thing tonight. That's fine. All right. Once in a while I fuck up. What am I going to tell you?
Once in a while. Sean, you probably know this guy.
Okay.
Adam, you too. I worked at CBS when his record came out. A fellow by the name of Terence Trent D'Arby. And he had an album out called Introducing the Hardline, according to Terence Trent D'Arby. Now, when I was at the label, this was what had everyone excited. Yeah. He was supposed to be a combination of Michael Jackson and Prince. Yeah. He was going to be I remember people talking about this guy. I remember getting the record before it was released. And he had the first single was Wishing Well, but I thought the better song was Sign Your Name. Okay. Oh, yeah. But both of them were great. Great song. It was a great opening album, debut album. Then he comes out with his second album, one of the most pretentious things with like cymbal snaps and it was just garbage. It was called Not Flesh, Neither Fish, Not Flesh. Just like a dumb, it was terrible. It tanked. It basically killed his career. He came out with a third album that did better than the second one, but he never reached the heights of his debut album.
Yeah, I remember when that album came out too. And
did you like him?
I loved him. I actually found that record. I was digging in a record store on South Street in Philadelphia, and they have like the whole basement is dollar records. And I was digging through and digging through. I mean, I must have gone through 25 fucking crates. And I was like, I'm doing one last one. And I was like 6 or 7 albums from the back, and I see Terrence Trent D'Arby's record for $1. I'm like, yeah, definitely grabbing this. And right behind it was a fucking copy of Meet the Beatles.
Oh, wow.
In the dollar bin. Beat to shit. It wasn't a first pressing, but it was a second pressing. And that thing was on eBay before I made it out of Pennsylvania. Like, I had bought it and I had taken pictures and uploaded it to eBay as I was in the car, and I sold it for $81.
Oh my God.
Yeah, never forget that. But I agree with you. Sign Your Name was definitely my favorite song on that record. And I'm a big sucker for great covers too, right?
Yeah, what did he do a cover of?
No. There's a great cover of Sign Your Name.
By who?
Which, I don't know if you've heard. It's a band called Light the Torch. So Light the Torch is the singer Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you talk about going to see Kansas and fucking and Styx. I don't think you realize what good music.
Well, they're not playing together. I'm going to see Kansas, and I'm hoping over the summer to be able to get tickets to see Chicago and Styx play together. Even though I saw both bands probably at least more than a half a dozen times each, but I've never seen them play together. So now I have to see that.
Yeah, but they do a pretty heavy version of it. So Howard was the second singer for Killswitch Engage, and then when
they changed their sound a lot when they switched over.
They did. They got more melodic, a little more melodic with Howard, who was a better singer than screamer.
Well, when you say Howard Jones, you just threw me off for a second, because Howard Jones was a solo artist who had many big hits.
Yeah, Everlasting Love and
great song, by the way.
Yeah. Adam, can you pull up that version real quick? I want to see if I think Jeff will get a kick out of that. By the way, while Adam is looking for this, I went to see Nine Inch Nails on Saturday.
And what did you think?
It is without question the last time I'm ever going to see Nine Inch Nails in concert.
Are you kidding?
It was fucking horrible. I hated this concert. You shot. I cannot believe it. Okay, so let me ask you something. Did they open up the way they normally did? It was like on the small stage, right? Small stage, 3 acoustic songs.
And then they go over to the main stage, crazy drum lead by John Freeze, and then go into Wish.
Yes.
And that didn't blow your mind? That wasn't worth the price of admission?
No. So,
oh my God.
20 songs. I knew 12, which is fine. That's a good number for a band that you're not super, super deep on, right? The songs that I knew were okay. The new songs that I didn't know, I didn't like. But it was, and again, you're going to laugh at me for saying this, way too loud.
You get very old.
It was so mixed. No, it was just not mixed properly. And I could use the excuse that I was at Prudential Center and I had bad seats. I had amazing seats. I was directly in line with the stage on the first level. I had great seats. It was the most muffled, loud, noisy, jumbled concert I had ever been to in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah. I was surprised too. I really thought I was going to have a much better time.
How about visually? Visually didn't blow you away?
It wasn't, dude. First of all, there's a DJ that opens up the show for an hour, and it's disgusting. It's terrible, right? And then they
just talked to somebody about that today, and they said they became fans of them after seeing
horrible, just horrible. But like, there wasn't that much of a visual show. It was really just strobe lights the whole friggin' night.
Yeah, like you're going to get an aneurysm.
I really thought I was becoming an epileptic. I really did. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody else who didn't like it.
Adam, excuse me 1 second. Adam, can you do me a favor? Can you look up to see when James Taylor is coming around again? We'll take Sean to that.
I did age out.
This summer, PNC.
Okay, I didn't age out of the band, but I will tell you, again, another thing. One of the weirdest crowds I've ever seen at a concert.
You going to tell us why?
It was so over the top diverse. All right, let's just say we go see Skid Row, right? Like we went to see Skid Row a couple years ago.
Great show.
We know what we're going to expect when you go see Skid Row. Nine Inch
Old
Nails, what do you
metalheads.
think you're going to expect, right? You're going to
I
expect
think
like,
guys like you,
guys like me or dark, gothy people. There
right?
were people
Everywhere in black.
there were people in their 70s. There was young kids there. There were fucking people dressed up as goblins. It was this stupid. And then you see like they're playing all these. So and when Head Like a Hole comes on, of course, every fucking meathead jock that was at the place started fist pumping to that one. You know,
You don't like that.
you know what, dude? I saw them. It's off my list, and I don't ever think I'll go see them again.
Jameson hates Nine Inch Nails.
I don't mind them. I actually like a
He will
lot of
not
their
go.
music. But I like a lot of their music, but dude, I will go to Chicago in Styx before I go see freaking Nine Inch Nails again.
Did they do Closer when you were there?
Yeah, and like all their older stuff, they did remixes of. So they changed up the
Arrangement.
the arrangements and not far off. Don't get me wrong, but enough to like, all right, we know what you're doing. You're a musician. Relax, we get it. You know what I mean? You have to rewrite your own fucking song. Calm down. You know. But yeah, it was just, dude. I did not have a good time.
Wow, that really you surprised me. I thought you would come back and say.
I figured you would. I didn't even tell you about it because I wanted to surprise you on the show about it because I knew you knew I was going.
Yeah, that was another show I asked you if you wanted to do. If you wanted to do a spot, and you're like, no, I'm going to see Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah. I should have taken the spot.
Should have done the show, man. It was a sellout crowd. We did great.
Yeah.
But you went to go see a shitty concert. All right, Sean. I'll give you another.
Well, I want you to hear this. Let's give Jeff a little taste of this. They keep it pretty close to the original, except for when the chorus kicks in.
Could it be a longer build-up?
Well, that's how the build-up is in the song too.
I know, but come on, you're doing a cover here. You know, no one knows who you are.
Got a great voice.
Speaking of great voices and arrangements of songs, our guest next week has some very interesting arrangements of
Yes, we'll touch on that.
Yeah.
Chorus is coming.
I got kicked in. All right, here it comes. This is a great chorus. This. I mean, Wishing Well was catchy. This is a great song.
I feel it's a better song. I think it's a better song than Wishing Well.
I agree, man. I think it stands the test of time better.
Yeah, I think so too. Not bad though, right?
No, not that. Listen, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I think Ariana Grande could sing this song and I would enjoy it. No, it really is such a good song. So you know who my favorite band is, right, Sean?
Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath.
Exactly. And I have a Sabbath album on here.
Never Say Die.
No, Technical Ecstasy.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Technical Ecstasy had, it follows up Sabotage. And Sabotage has my favorite Sabbath song on it, Symptoms of the Universe. Okay, love that song, okay? Symptom of the Universe. Has I'm Going Insane on it. Then you put on Technical Ecstasy. I mean, the big hit, I guess, off it, I think, is Rock and Roll Doctor, which sounds like a shitty Kiss song.
It does, actually.
It does. It sounds like a Paul Stanley song. I don't know. I don't know where they came up with that, what they were thinking. I don't like the ballads. It's All Right and She's Gone. Just like two. I mean, the album didn't do it for me. I thought it was such a disappointment, followed up by so many great Sabbath albums. And this was like really their first clunker. And I think this was the writing on the wall that by 76, Sabbath was heading down the path where, they're going to get rid of Ozzy.
Is it a worse album than Saint Anger by Metallica?
Yes, because even though people hate Saint Anger, I was thinking about putting it on here, but then I'm like, I don't hate it with the way some Metallica fans think about. What you? I guess that you just picked that. So tell us about Saint Anger.
I don't hate the record either. I just hate the way it was recorded, which everybody on Earth agrees with, because Lars decided to use this like hollowed out tin pan snare drum that just killed every single song. If you go on, if you go on YouTube, they actually have people who have re-recorded the record with like an actual snare drum, or they enhance on Lars's beats and stuff like that. It's a great record. He killed that entire record because of just changing around the sound of his drums, because he's a hard hitting guy, and it sounds like he's playing on a friggin' a steel drum on a beach in Jamaica half the show.
People thought the albums that really polarized people, I think, with Metallica are Saint Anger. People hate it. And for some reason, the Black Album.
People get a lot of hate for the Black Album because you have the people who are just the diehards, who only want to hear the first three records. The Black Album is a masterpiece of a record. No one can argue that. If any other metal band besides Metallica put that out, it's considered the greatest metal record of all time, probably. But because Metallica's name is attached to it, it gets shit on all the time. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal record. It's when you're shifting your sound, that's the way you're supposed to do it.
So this was on my list, but it brings me to a point. So when what's his name? Sean, who's the guy in the ACD? Why am I thinking Graham Bonnet? It's not his name. Bon Scott. When Bon Scott dies, and AC/DC gets Brian Johnson, and they put out Back in Black, right? Great album. Great album. And then they put out For Those About to Rock, which isn't a terrible album, okay? And the song is fantastic. Okay, and there's some good cuts off of it, but it's not Back in Black, and they never put out anything as good as Back in Black. But when you start going past For Those About to Rock, every AC/DC record sounds exactly the same. It's this, they never have, just like Maiden, they never have ballads. It's always that same hard rock, and it's not bad. Metallica tried something different with the Black Album. They grew up. They evolved. I think, for me, I think the first three albums are great. There are some phenomenal songs. But I think the Black Album as a whole, like you just said, is a heavy metal masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel that. I mean, I think what happens is when you put out such a monumental record, right? I think almost anything you put out after that is almost automatically set up for failure. So another one I had on my list, I'm going to jump the line a little bit. I put Prince, Around the World in a Day.
Yeah, I was going to discuss that too.
Again, you talk about Purple Rain when you have Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, I Will Die for You on one record.
Let's go crazy.
Let's go crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's just like, look, is the movie great? No, the movie is not that great at all. The soundtrack makes the movie. But but some of his most popular works off one record, and then he comes out with Around the World in a Day, and he's playing like fucking finger cymbals. You know what I mean? I love Prince. I got a Prince tattoo, but that's a horrible record.
It was poppy. What was the big hit off that? Was Raspberry Beret?
No, that was after that. It was 87, I think.
No, I don't think so. I think it was this album.
I'm gonna have to Google that, Jeffrey.
Please don't make me have you be wrong twice.
There's a very good possibility I'm going to be wrong again, Jeff. I'm just letting you know.
I think there is a very
not on my game today, Jeffrey. Not on my game.
But
so I'm gonna look that up. Give me another one from you.
Yeah, okay, so another one for me would be I like U2. I know you're not a huge U2 fan. I love no, I'm not going to go with the best one. I'm going to go with a one that's even worse. One of the greatest all time. Me and Chris Murphy were just talking about this. 1967, one of the greatest albums of all time comes out. Pet Sounds, phenomenal album. Right?
It's on my list too.
Everyone loves Pet Sounds. Big orchestra production. The strings, good vibration, phenomenal. And then they followed up with Smile, which was not half the record that Pet Sounds was, recorded in his living room, didn't have the instrumentation, didn't have the growth on it. It seemed very, very incomplete compared to what Pet Sounds was. It seems like, hey, man, I used up all my creativity, but I have to put out something, keep up with the Beatles. So I'm going to throw out this crap. And listen, anything, Brian Wilson, if it was anybody else, you would say, okay, this is okay. But for the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson, it was just a colossal letdown.
Well, now I'm going to do something that I didn't.
By the way, was I right about that? Around the World in a Day?
Yeah, you were fucking right.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you were right. I was wrong.
Again.
Sound clip that.
Okay.
Let's talk about something that we had talked about, potentially talking about, but we never got to. And we can lead into it with this. You have The River by Bruce Springsteen, right? An amazing double record. And you come out with Nebraska, right? Now, if you're not a Bruce fan, you're like, what the hell is this? Okay. Now, I wanted to mention this because we had mentioned we wanted to talk about the movie Deliver Me From Nowhere. Now, my
I did watch it after you made me watch it.
Right. Now, was I wrong in the fact that this is an absolute piece of dog shit movie?
Absolutely not.
It was a bad movie, right?
It was a horrible movie. And it was, what's the actor's name that plays him?
Jeremy Allen White.
Horrible in it.
See, I like him as an actor.
I don't care if you like him. I like him too, but he was terrible.
I didn't get it, man.
I'm going to give my impression right now of him playing Bruce Springsteen. Okay? Here's Bruce Springsteen at the merry-go-round. Here's now this is Bruce Springsteen in the cafeteria where he's talking to his girlfriend. He does a lot of quiet staring. A lot of staring in this movie.
The only thing that I will give him for this movie is that he recorded all the music.
Was that him singing?
That's him. So if you go on Apple Music,
excellent.
The Deliver Me From Nowhere soundtrack is all him singing. So I will give him that. I mean, that's a hard thing to do. First of all, if you're not a singer, number one. Second of all, to try and mimic one of, Bruce is not an easy voice to match.
No, are you kidding me? I can do it.
Okay, all right, let's hear a little Atlantic City.
I know more of the words from maybe I'm on Fire.
That's an easy song because anybody can fake. I want to hear something that has vocal chops. Like what's your favorite Springsteen song?
Prove It All Night.
Go from like the bridge into the chorus of Prove It All Night.
Okay. Long back, his long high heels. Meet me back there behind the fields. To make their choices. What it means to steal, to cheat, to lie. What it's like to live and die. That's Springsteen. That's pretty good.
I don't see how you haven't ventured out into becoming a singer. I really don't. I don't think podcasting and comedy and acting is really your real.
Is that my forte?
It's not your forte. I think you've been depriving the world of the God-given vocal talent that is Jeffrey Paul.
Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? They leave you all alone.
First of all, if you really realize
all the lyrics wrong.
That is a sick pedophile song, number one.
Of course, Paul Bond has a bit about that, which I always think about that.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know the exact bit you're talking about too, because he's been doing it for 20 years. So, have to throw digs into comics anytime I can, right?
What are you saying? Paul Bond doesn't come up with new jokes?
Yeah, that's what I said. So, yeah, this Springsteen movie was just. I mean, I was so disappointed with it. I was so disappointed. I made my mom watch it because my mom's a great judge of.
She got through the whole thing.
No. So here's the thing. She loves Bruce. she despises Bob Dylan like I do. I am not a Dylan fan in the least bit,
I
right?
understand you guys.
She said that the Dylan movie was a masterpiece, and she watched it like 5 times, and she hates Dylan. She loves Springsteen, and 20 minutes in, she texts me and says, "I'm out." She tapped out. She tapped out at 20 minutes.
I'm sitting there, with my wife, and we're like, listen, we don't watch TV together because I hate everything she watches. But she's like, I'll watch this movie with you. And we just like, we got to put on something else after this just to get the taste out of our mouth. It was so bad.
What does Terry watch?
She watches all these crazy stuff on like Netflix. She watched that. What was that one about the hotel? White
Lotus. I've seen. I first saw the first.
Yeah, she watches all that stuff. She gets upset that she's like, all my friends, how they're and their husbands, they have a show that they watch together, and we don't watch anything together. So we started watching this series. It's back in like the early 2000s called House.
Yeah,
about the doctor. We watched that. I can tolerate that.
You know what I wish Terry would say to you? Can we watch a snuff film?
I would watch
first
over half the shit that she watches.
Go first.
But she won't watch Walking Dead. She don't really watch The Sopranos. She watches all this other like stuff. It's just like I can't watch these.
Yeah,
shows.
But maybe it's good stuff. Maybe you got to broaden your horizons a little bit.
I don't have time to watch it. But she'll sit there. Now she's watching The Lincoln Lawyer, and she's obsessed by this. And she loves this stuff. Like, she'll lay in bed and watch it like on her tablet even. Like, every time she gets a chance, she watches it. She's like infatuated with it.
I want to get your opinion on Beast Games.
I don't even know what it is.
So you know who Mr. Beast is?
I've heard of him. I don't know. I get him mixed up with Mr. Skin.
He's the such an asshole. Wow. Let's throw back a 40-year fucking reference for that one. Jesus Christ. Mr. Beast is like
the only Mr. that I know.
You don't know Mr. Mister? You don't know Mr. Rogers?
I knew Mr. Rogers. Mr. What was this on Broken Wings?
Broken Wings and Kyrie.
Awful.
Yeah, so he's like the most successful YouTuber of all time. He's got like 500 million subscribers. He's worth pretty close to $1 billion. So he's doing this. Not much. Does YouTube videos, and he just has this mass following, But he's super, super loaded, right? So he has this reality competition, which I'm not a big reality competition fan, like Survivor or that kind of shit. He takes 1,000 people, and the grand prize is $5 million. And after the first episode, it's down to 500. So it goes down to like the final 10. And it gets into all this like psychological warfare about who's going to advance forward and stuff like that. So I can watch that kind of reality, but I'm not going to watch like The Hills.
I wouldn't mind. That's Spencer Pratt, right?
Yeah, like I won't watch. I'll watch me some good trash reality TV. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not going to. Bar Rescue. God, I'm a big Housewives fan.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I watch. I watch New Jersey and New York.
Why?
Good shit. Man. Good shit.
There's nothing. It's my God. It's the lowest common denominator of
I'm a big Kardashian fan. I watch all that.
Adam, are you hearing this? I am shocked. Why? This has got to be a bit.
It's not a bit. I'm a huge trash reality TV fan.
I mean, I could see Bar Rescue. I used to like to watch
Bar Rescue.
I used to like watch Tabitha's Takeover.
Porn Stars.
Porn Stars was okay.
Forged in Fire, where they make fucking swords and shit.
No,
but like, I'll watch that. I'll watch that, and then go right into the friggin' fucking Ice Loves Coco. I have no problem with that.
Oh my God, Sean, you have absolutely maybe the worst taste in TV I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah, I really do. I totally admit that. I've never seen movies like Schindler's List or Platoon or Shawshank Redemption, but I've seen.
No, you're fucking with me now.
No, I'm not. But I can watch. I've never seen those, but I can watch UHF with Weird Al Yankovic over and over again, which I've seen for 600 times.
Oh man, this is bad.
Dead Poet Society, I mean, anything. I mean, any major movie I've never seen.
You never saw Platoon. You never saw Shawshank.
Never saw Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God.
Like any major movie, like Unforgiven, There Will Be Blood, like any of these award-winning movie of the years.
I never watched New Jersey Housewives.
Yeah, especially when like Melissa Gorga came on the show, because that's when like
I don't even know who these people are.
That's Teresa Giudice's sister-in-law. So like, yeah, once what?
Whose sister-in-law?
Teresa Giudice.
Like we're supposed to know who that is.
The Flip the Table, remember that? You've seen that clip. You never saw? Oh, wow, she's great. So
why? What did she do? Is she a good singer?
No, not really. Melissa Gorga is a pretty good singer. She's a pretty good singer. She
on this show here, Adam, can you pull this up? Because I'm sure Sean has seen it. Can you pull up the Countess doing her big hit song?
Money Don't Buy You Class.
No, she had a bigger hit.
No, Money Don't Buy You Class.
No. Adam, pull up the song. We had it once before, I believe.
Oh, we've heard that. Yeah.
Chic C'est la vie. C'est bon.
Yes.
C'est bon.
Yes.
Chic C'est la vie. C'est bon.
But, Melissa Gorga, she's on New Housewives on the Housewives of New Jersey. She had a single out too. Pretty good song called On Display.
I'm sure it's a banger.
It's great. Really it's better than anything on Saint Anger. I'll tell you that.
Is it better than Paris Hilton's non-auto-tune song, "The Stars Are Blind"?
Paris Hilton's that's another issue. That's not good. That's just pure money that's making that song come out.
See,
all right. So are we going to put the Countess against Melissa Gorga? I think we'll do that. We're going to see which song's better. Oh, here we go. It's cheese already. When you have a bad credit in the front.
This is the Countess speaking. We have arrived.
Bullshit.
The Borgata.
Silhouettes, champagne in the sky.
Bill Zarin.
Mirrors and fireworks every single night.
She just got into some heat, by the way.
Yeah, but you skated in a thing. Not that. That's my wife's partner's mother-in-law.
Live the life you want to live. There's no sympathy.
Her son's wedding.
Don't forget to see the best. Life can be so soft. The little things can take you down, so it's best to brush them off. Hair done,
this is like a mom saying, I want to be in a music video and be young.
This is what you call cigarette mom rock right here.
This is cigarette mom rock. They're very, very talented. Adam, what do you think about this?
I don't have a problem with that song.
What's worse, this or Corey Feldman music?
Limousines, the party scene, adventures every day.
I think I'd rather watch Corey Feldman.
I'd rather watch Corey Feldman. This is unwatchable.
You know you hold the key. Find your dreams within yourself and live with dignity. Hair done, jewelry on.
Is this even singing?
No, she's like staccato talking.
Yeah.
Beauty, class, elegance, lie within the soul.
Okay, we don't have to watch this anymore.
Yeah, we can now. See, I don't. Now, let me just preface by saying, like, Real Housewives of New York was like the benchmark. Like that's what started this whole phenomenon. But I'm more of a fan of New Jersey. A little closer to home. We kind of relate.
You can relate.
Yeah, a little relate.
Yeah, yes. Sure.
My 1,200 square foot house in Sayreville, rivals the 36,000 square foot houses in fucking Montville. Right. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of the Jersey one. I just sent Adam a song to put on. We're gonna see which is better. Which is the better song from the Housewives franchise? So you're going with Countess Luann, but I'm going with Melissa Gorga from.
Well, the only one I heard. I when I saw that, I was like, I cannot believe that she put out a song and that people would actually like listen to it.
But multiple, like that's like the second song. Her first song was the real. It was called "Money Don't Buy You Class." Now, I remember this because I watched it when it first came out, like the night it came out.
You just snap your chubby little fingers to it.
I did. I did.
This looks like a real album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the girl from New Jersey.
It's a sexy picture.
See the vibe? Same kind of thing?
It's like
Dance mom.
can feel the weight of the world pushing down on me.
Yeah, man.
I can feel the way the world. I get it, man. Sometimes the world gets to be overwhelming.
I can feel the heat of the spotlight shine on me.
See, she gets us, Jeff.
You know, she talks to us. She talks to people.
Got me feeling all these feelings and it's driving me insane. Paparazzi watching.
You know what I like about it is that the beat isn't repetitious. I like it's not the same drum machine. That's to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Well, which do you prefer?
They're both equally horrible. Adam, a minute. This was way too much.
You know what's really bad is like not only do I watch all this stuff, but her husband, who was also on the show, is now doing comedy.
Of course he is. And when is he getting his Netflix special and headlining over at Soul Joel's?
No. He headlines the Governors Clubs. He headlines Levity Lives, like that kind of shit, and sells them out.
It's not that I don't believe it. I believe it. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to have an act. But if you can sell 200 tickets, you could headline anywhere.
Very rarely do I ever say no to a show unless I have something that day.
Or unless I offer.
Look, you're making fun of me. Yeah, I had plans that day, whatever. But if I'm free and I can do a show, I'm doing it. I have turned down 2 times to open for Joe Gorga.
Wow,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I only did it one other time when a friend of mine
said he's going to show you up.
No,
I
don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't sit right with me when people who aren't comics think they can do it. You know what I mean? Like I worked with Jeremy Piven the one time and he was just the biggest piece of shit I ever met as far as comedy goes. But I only turned down that show. And I had a friend call me and say, "Hey, are you available this night?" And I said, "Yeah, what you got?" He goes, "Look, I'm going to pay you headline money, but I need you to host." I go, "Who am I hosting for?" And he said, "Stormy Daniels."
You know, very funny. We were just offered Stormy Daniels at the club.
Really? And I said no.
And I did say no. I just don't know if we can sell tickets for her.
I don't think that sells anything.
I mean, you know, wow. You couldn't get me Linda Lovelace. I mean, you're talking about in the news cycle. Who even gives a shit anymore? And I don't even think she looks good anymore either.
It just rubs me the wrong way when I see people who just decide to go into comedy. You know what I mean? It just grinds my gears, Jeff.
I know that. All right, listen. You want to do this under an hour? Well, under an hour.
We're good.
Yeah, not a bad episode, right, Adam?
Not bad.
Yeah.
I am working on a good guest for us. He is committed to doing the show. I tried to get him on tonight, but I guess scheduling didn't work. So I'm hoping to get him next week. I'll preface, his name is Joe Altier. Goes by the name of Just Joe. Now, if you go on Instagram, you will find him everywhere. He is an amazing singer from the old band Brand New Sin from like the early 2000s. And now his new thing is he's doing these acoustic piano ballad versions of like really heavy songs and just turning them into these pieces. But he also just he put out a new song that became a wrestling theme song and it exploded on the charts. Like it went to like the top of like the rock charts, like even for a day. But so we're going to have him on probably next week or the week after. And that'll be a really cool.
Well, let me know at some point. So if he doesn't come on next week, I'll get somebody else. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a couple people
it's good to actually have somebody in music for a change. You know, we have a lot of comics. We have a lot of, politicians and shit like that. But, we used to get some really good musical guests. So I want to try and get back and doing that once in a while too. I think this is probably, one of the better ones we can get. Who's actually in the news, currently at the moment too for this new song he has out.
Didn't we have a music guest recently? Adam, do we have a music guest recently? We had a couple of really good. We did have a couple of really good shows though.
We've had some good stuff, but we are a music podcast, so I want to try and get back to a little music.
Yeah, we gotta get some music people on here. All right, guys. Hey, next week, good guess. Hopefully, Sean's able to pull this off. Otherwise, we'll get something else. Just so we could just reiterate. And to do a quick wrap up of the show, Sean was wrong multiple times this week.
Twice.
Yes, that would count as multiple. And we also found out that he is really a 46-year-old woman, okay, who is a cigarette mom. Okay?
Actually, almost
music and
49.
watches the happiest TV shows.
I'm actually 49 and a half, just in case you want to know. But I'm not 46. I'll take 46, but I appreciate that. I like what I like, Jeffrey, and I don't pull any punches about that.
Sean, I'm sure you have a full night of watching curling ahead of you. All right.
I do watch curling. Well, hey, listen, you didn't like my joke, but it is true. Women are fixated watching curling during the Olympics every 4 years, but these bitches can't pick up a fucking broom in their own house. You know what I mean? It's very
good shit.
Very
All
true.
right, folks. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.